Hi, welcome to Two Non Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
I almost forgot what I said. I was like,
Oh,
I was like,
hi.
how
You
do
almost forgot hi.
yeah, but like, do I say my name first? Do I say Two Non Doctor? I'm
I've
not
had
all
days like
together.
that. I did 6 shows on Saturday. By the sixth one,
What?
I was like that. Just my mind just was like not delivering the next joke. It was like I don't know. I'm like, give me a joke, any joke. I don't know.
Mm. Isn't
And
it
I was,
crazy?
and like my
Yeah.
hay fever was. It was like midnight, and my hay fever was coming. I don't know. I was just like I sniffed into the microphone and it was so loud. I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so snotty. And I just think my hay fever is really bad here. But there was like no jokes. And then a comedian in the back, because it was total silence, and the comedian in the back just laughed. Because it was just, I'm just like snotting into the microphone and not being funny. I'm like, give me a joke, brain, anything.
There's just like this little kid that's like, where's my mom? I don't feel well.
Just say anything. Yeah, I pulled it together, but like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's what I'm trying to say.
6 shows?
Yeah. The first
Insane.
show, it started with a mentally exhausting one because the first show was a brunch show, but these are like called bottomless brunches. So they're there like a couple hours prior to the actual show, and it's just like they drink as much as they can in a limited amount of time. And then we do
Ugh.
comedy. Like, what a great,
It's in the afternoon and they're shit faced. Kill
yeah.
me.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like sometimes they're really good shows. It's always hit or miss, but this one was a miss. And it was just, they were just feral. Like they were just like, it wasn't like they were listening, but then I would say a joke. And if they related to it, they then talked amongst themselves about like,
Oh,
and
I
then
can't.
the two front row, like the two rows were a group of girls who all knew each other. It was one girl's birthday, and this girl in the front was so drunk, and she was just talking to me like we were best friends. So I would say my joke, and as I'm saying it, like doing the setup, she would like interrupt with like, "Oh, like yeah, like she, we were having
She
a
doesn't even
conversation."
know where she is.
No, I know, like no regard for anybody behind her, and I was just like, you are fucking me up. Like I appreciate the enthusiasm, but shut the fuck up. Like I'm trying to, I don't know. It was just really, it was hard to get any kind of
Those
flow going.
those are the hardest kind of hecklers to deal with because they don't realize, like, they're like, I'm being a nice person, I'm having a great time, I'm with you. And you're like, I would almost rather you tell me I'm unfunny and to die in a fire, because at least that's something to work with. But I can't yell at a girl that doesn't even know she's the worst right now.
I know. And then, and she thinks she's being like personable and fun. And then, so it's like, if you get mad at them, they're like, whoa, like I thought we were friends. I really liked you. And you're like, God damn it.
Did I tell you what I did in Cleveland about that?
I don't think so.
It was the weekend before my special taping, last show of the weekend. And the same thing, the girl was doing it. And I had done the set. I pretty much had it, but it's still like I have to get through the set. They were okay. They weren't amazing, but they were okay. And she's doing the same thing. She's like responding as if every word, but it's like not even the punchlines, like almost every sentence. She's like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying in the
What?
setup when you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm getting to a point.
Yeah.
Like,
And I open my hour with a 5-minute ghost joke. So it's like it has multiple themes, it all builds on itself. And she's right here. She's front and center, first person.
yeah.
And I'm losing my mind. I'm hoping it stops. By the third joke, I literally look at the audience, I go, hey, I'm gonna do something weird and you're not gonna understand it, and it's fine. And then I just take the microphone, I put it over here, I lean down and I get in her face and I go, hey, I know you don't mean to do any harm, but you're really messing me up. Like I can hear you talking and like you're responding as if and she puts her hand on my hand. She goes, you look so pretty. And I go, that's so nice, but not the point. I just need you not to talk. I was like, I know it doesn't come from a bad place, but it's like, it's really messing me up. And she's like, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, it's totally okay. But like, keep in mind, I know nobody could hear what's going on except for maybe the table next to me. So I come back up. I go, so sorry. I don't acknowledge, because I didn't want to embarrass her, because I think she was at both the level of drunk and actually kindness. I think she had a good heart, that I don't think she could have taken it any other way other than an attack, when it's like, I don't want to attack you. I need you to stop. But this is I'm in a microphone, and I don't know why I did that way, but I was like, I just know there's no way for this. So it was awkward for probably about 30 seconds. did whatever. I could see at points she would put her hand over her mouth because she clearly couldn't contain not talking.
Yeah.
Like it was just part of her personality. And it ended up being fine. And I got them back. And then everyone from the manager to the owner to the waiters were like, what was going on? What did you say? And I was like, she was just a very enthusiastically annoying person. And I just couldn't focus, especially because it was also like, this wasn't just a set. This was like, I'm preparing for something that's happening tomorrow. Like I have a mission, and there's nothing worse than having a mission. And I'm doing over an hour. Like, and this is the first 5 minutes. I'll die. I'll die. But I had never handled it like that before. But I think there is this weird wiggle room between they're not being a piece of shit. They're not a bad person. But I just had this feeling that I was like, there's no other way to talk to her other than to make it private if I want this to really go well. Yeah. And I'm glad I did it. It was one of the few times that I was like, yeah, all right, that's experience.
Last night I was at a show that it shouldn't have worked like on paper. It's one of those shows that like it was a makeshift show. Like there was a new sort of outdoor mall kind of situation. And so they were like, let's have a comedy show to like celebrate the opening.
Yeah, I'm already upset about this.
it was a makeshift show, completely lit up. I could see everybody's face. It was free to get in. So there was no like,
I'm crying. Like my comedic heart is crying. I was like, outside, free.
It wasn't like fully outside, but it was like, you know, it was contained within the U shape of this kind of strip mall-ish situation. And they put a black curtain up because the guy running the show was like, you need a curtain. You cannot just, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like they had all the makings of a bad show, but they were an excellent audience somehow. Except for this guy in the front row. So I'm doing well. I'm in my bits. He keeps yelling out, and I'm just ignoring it. It doesn't matter. Everyone else is laughing. We're all having a good time. But he keeps yelling out, and like, so finally, after he's like, ah! Like I don't remember I didn't even know what he was saying. So finally, I stopped and go, what? You wanted my attention. Now you have it.
Yeah. What do you want?
And he was like, nothing.
I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you.
Up. Shut up. Like, and then I like got back into my bit. I was like, man, you really fucked up the flow of that. And then that got a little weird because everybody else was like, is she really mad? Like, yeah. And so like, I was like, okay, whatever. And I let it go. But he fucked it all. Like, I mean, I'm on my way to some, you know, both of our jokes, we have jokes that kind of like build.
Yeah.
And so if you fuck it up in the middle, then it's like you've already.
Yeah. And there's sometimes when they see that you're not like, even though I have kind of curt and maybe shitty jokes, they don't actually want to feel like I'm shitty. But it's like if you have a moment where you're like, yeah, man, what the fuck? They're like, oh, this isn't playtime. Yeah. No, man, I'm getting paid to be here. Like it is, but you're making it unfun. Can I just ask, why are the most annoying people so punctual? They're always in the front row.
Always in the front row, but that can mean that they're late. Usually people don't want to sit in the front. So it's like the last.
But a lot of clubs is first come, first serve, and they push you into the front. Like if you come early, you're going to be in the front.
I mean, as someone who would never speak during a comedy show and doesn't want any attention as an audience member, I would never sit in the front.
I would never.
Most people who don't want to be a part of the show don't sit in the front. It's the people who go, oh, this is great. And then I can talk. And then, you know, it's the kind of people who think that their heckles are helping.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing makes me madder than in that story is that you finally were like, what do you need? And they're like, sorry. Yeah. And you're like, I know children with more self-awareness. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah. How is this going to end up? Also, how fortunate are they that we don't hit back? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're so lucky that I'm not violent because every day I hit like a level 8 to 10 rage at somebody in the audience. And I've done the emotional work. I've done, you know what I mean? Like I've done all this work to not throw something at them.
I think the only reason is because I was doing well. I didn't mind. So it was kind of like, what do you want? But like, if the show was not going well and I had traveled like an hour and a half to get there, cause it was like in Wembley, which is so far from me. And then, you know, like all those things, it would have been my like 12th show that week. And like, if they were not laughing, I probably would have been violent.
Yeah. You would have got the full wrath. It's so funny though, because like I did a rowdy show on Saturday where they weren't bad. They were just talkative. So it was at Gotham and it's 300 people. And I'm watching my friends on stage before me and I can see the front, like they're getting big laughs, but it's only in the front, in the middle. And I'm behind tables that are talking like they're at a bar, like they're not even there. And so it's like, I'm watching my friends, I'm laughing, but I'm also like, fucking, what the fuck is this? So same thing happens. I'm on stage, I have them, and then I can hear where I start to lose the back. And you're just like, I finally was just like, all right, I'm just going to focus on the people that are paying attention.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny how that kind of helps you because I'm looking at this inner circle. Let's say it's probably about 75 to 100 people. It's not a small amount of people paying attention, but it's these two like dads that are just so into it. And I was like, I'm just going to pay attention to these dads. And it was like, it really was like that. Like, okay, that's how I'm going to handle this. And nobody was heckling. Nobody was a piece of shit. It was just this, I'm doing a show almost to a crowded bar. Like almost half the audience should have had their back to me. And I had to just let them go so that I could enjoy and be present. And it ended up going really well. But I mean, I was giving my all to these 100 people because I was just like trying to block out the other like 150 that were just like, is somebody on stage? It's so weird. I wish I'd turn off that TV.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've done so many shows where it's just like a lot of people not paying attention. Actually, that's like the Great British Heckle is it's a passive aggressive. Like this one hurts because they don't yell out, they don't shout you. So I mean, they will, they can, they do. But the Great British Heckle is just ignoring. So like I did a show in Brighton and there was a double act headlining. And then the next night they opened instead because when they were headlining, nobody was paying any attention. Like it was like as if the show was on a break. You know how we do breaks here?
yeah.
Like they were not listening and they just talked amongst themselves. And that's what they'll do to you. If they don't like you, they'll just start talking to each other if they find their friend is more entertaining than you.
Oh, fuck. That hurts.
It
That
does.
is the ultimate rejection.
It is because if they were like, you suck, then you're engaged still. And you can be like, no, you suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
and
can
your
have
mother
it back and
sucks.
forth. Your mom sucks. Yeah.
Ugh. Can I talk about something silly?
Yeah.
I went to a, it's technically not a baby shower. I went to a welcome to the world shower. A baby shower is before they come. A welcome to the world is they're already here. So
Okay.
my friend had a winter baby and she was like, it's cold. And you know what I mean? She was just like, she was like in December, she was like, it's cold and I live upstate. We're not doing this. And so we waited for a nice day. I met so many babies. I didn't even realize that I needed to hold all these babies. It's been a while since I've just like, I mean, like no joke. Like my friend was like, hey, can you hold this baby? And I was like, sure. And then I didn't see them for 2 hours. I was like, oh, this is my baby.
That's what they do. Sorry,
that's
all moms out there, but we know what you're doing. You invite us over to see the baby and then you fuck off. I've had friends that do that. They come over and then suddenly I'm babysitting because they're like, I'm just going to go to the store and get some milk. And then you just
And then they're like taking selfies in front of like a museum and you're like, what? I was open to it. I absolutely was open to it, but it was kind of funny where like my friend was like, she was showing her like kind of just extended family, her house. She had done like some remodeling. And I was like, oh, do you want me to take the baby? She was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then I was like, 2 hours later, I was like, so I gave it a bottle. I haven't changed it, but it didn't seem upset. I also taught it at least 4 curse words.
How did she feel about you calling it?
She's fine. It's 2 months. It's barely a person. We had some bonding. It was funny. She had these cards where you basically tell them like, you know, what I hope you be when you grow up, what I hope you like when you grow up, what I hope doesn't happen. And so she texted me this morning. She's like, you had the best card, except for my 11-year-old niece, where it was like, I hope you don't. And it says, go to jail. And I was like, yeah, Scarlett nailed that one. With our friend group. Good for you, Scarlett. You know the future of this baby. But it was nice. There were baby goats and there were babies. And honestly, I held a goat. I held a bunch of babies. I think I like I am a nightmare.
No, not you, the situation. Like I'm
It
not like
actually,
a animal or
actually,
baby person, so
yeah. I mean, I'm not against babies. I guess it was funny though because I slept over at her house. I was like, "Did you have fun?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you have fun?" I was like, "There were too many grown-ups." And it was just so funny to be like, it was just, a lot of aunts and uncles and, parents and in-laws and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I feel better now. Also, I think you'll just enjoy this. It was like 6 p.m. and everybody had left, and I fell asleep on the floor with the babies. Like my head was like in my friend Amanda's lap, and then the babies were kind of like laying, and we all fell asleep. And I remember like falling asleep, and I was like, oh, all the babies are tuckered out, and I'm passed out. It was too much socializing because you know what it is with like families. They're just like, how's comedy? And you're like, oh, it's good. And they're like, what's going on? And you're like, there's nothing I can tell you that you're going to understand. So I'll just be like, oh, telling jokes and getting paid.
I feel like that with comedians even. I mean, I saw a lot of comedians this weekend, and it was constant like, oh, how's everything going? It's like, yeah, fine. How are you? Fine, but like, so what's going on? What do it's just I'm working. I mean, I'm working on some stuff, and I don't nothing worth getting into. It's not like I'm like, oh, I got an HBO special. Like nothing. I'm fine.
Yeah. But it's also like the nitty gritty stuff that we're working on. There's only like 4 people that want to hear the details of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is like, how's it going? Good. I'm on the road. Oh yeah. Where are you? Oh, I was just here. Oh, that's cool. Is that a good club? Yeah. And then you're like, you're going to leave, right? We don't have to keep doing this. But I think that's also why I was like 100% baby. Like, no, like you just have to like walk around and make sure they don't cry. So you just walk away from people and nobody judges you. It was great. Like, oh, the baby's getting finicky. I got it. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I gotta go.
I vomited.
Oh
I
man,
vomited.
sorry. I gotta go breastfeed. I know that's not something I'm capable of doing at this point, but I gotta go do it.
If you're holding it like this as you're going,
I'm just like,
I gotta feed this thing.
One of them does have acid reflux, so they do feel better when they're upright. But yeah, it was nice. It was a good friendship weekend. It was nice. It was just a lot of driving. My back is killing me, man. It was 4 hours and then turned around the next day 4 hours, and I was like,
damn.
I know. I was like, because I was debating. I'm going to Buffalo. By the time this comes out, I'll have been back from Buffalo. But I'm going to Buffalo, and I'm just. I looked at it, and I was like, I'm not doing that shit. It was like 6.5 to 7 hours, and I was like, no. And then you look at the flight, and the flight's like an hour and a half. You're like, oh, this is magic. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm doing this. It just sucks because it's not really an hour and a half. You have to get to the airport. You got to wait at the airport. Got to get back from. It's like exhausting. All right. Announcements.
Yeah, 1 second. Will you move your hair?
Yes, sorry. I'm growing it out again.
Oh, I love it. I'm liking the level mine's at.
I really like that length.
Thank you. I do too.
Yeah, looks cute. All right. Announcements.
Yeah.
Patreons. We actually got a bunch of Patreons in the last week. People have been so thoughtful and kind. It's been really nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I sent out all some stickers. Somebody got books and albums. We kind of fell a little short of early access this week. It's our first time in 2 years though, so I feel pretty good about that.
How short though? I mean, we got it out on Saturday.
Sunday, no, because I was at a baby shower all Saturday, so I got it out.
My part.
I gave the biggest heads up that nothing was going to happen with my driving and my baby holding. They also have like the worst internet. I brought my computer and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. I just fight the Wi-Fi when I'm here.
Yeah.
But no, I got it out Sunday night, and I even said I was like barely in early access, but
Yeah.
but yeah. So thank you to all our longstanding Patreons, our newest ones. If you don't know, you can get early access to episodes. You can get weekly bonus episodes. You can get monthly bonus episodes. You can get stickers. You can get my signed book. You can get all our albums. Everything is at patreon.com/2nondoctors. That's the number 2 non-doctors.
Yeah, and you can follow us on the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at 2nondoctors. It's the number 2, full word doctors. And you can follow us on Instagram at 2nondrs. And if you have time and you're feeling kind, please leave us a rate and review on Apple Podcasts because we love it. It helps us get seen. We share it. I think we're going to start sharing it on the podcast if you leave us a 5-star review. And it helps us out a lot. So we would love to read those. Thanks to everyone who has done that so far. Sorry, the pause was my like mirror makes a noise, but I got the mirror used off Nextdoor app. Did you hear it?
No, but I've
It
never heard a
makes
mirror.
a woodpecker noise. It goes and so like but woody sounding. And so either there's like a
Because the walls,
creature in the mirror.
there might be stuff in your wall. So yeah, so there's two things that are happening with your wall right now. Either just in general, it's shaking, and so that's what's shaking it. Or if you read my book, when cats sometimes stare at the wall, you know how we're always like it's ghosts. It's actually because there's stuff in the wall, like because they have better hearing than us. So it could
When
be
you
a
say
mouse.
stuff, you mean like mice and stuff.
Yeah, like stuff in the wall,
Oh,
animals in the wall.
crazy. I'm hoping it's because like maybe hopefully like I don't hear them moving around upstairs right now, but maybe it's that. But yeah, it's like constant like and I'm like, oh, I don't like that.
So my new apartment's a little weird. So like I have the all the, what do you call it, the switches and stuff, the, when the lights go out.
Yeah. Light switches?
No, at the like
Dimmers?
the box, the box. Oh, the lights went out because you had a hair dryer. My brain's
Oh,
so broken.
like the fuse box or something?
Thank you. Yeah. So
Oh my God, let's never play charades.
I was like a hair dryer.
I know, but like this is with words and we're still like, okay.
It's not there. I'm tired. So so my fuse box is like on this wall, and it's like it shares the wall with the bathroom. And I'll be honest, when nobody's home, I'm peeing with the door open. You know what I mean? But like, my mom stayed with me and I shut the door, and the door, like it kind of like it shakes or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? And I just don't notice it because I don't really shut that door very often. And so the more I pay attention to it, so I follow it, and it's like to the fuse box, to the point where I called my dad and I was like, is my apartment going to blow up? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't notice it. And I have a picture over the fuse box that I just kind of take down if I need to. And that's shaken sometimes. So of course he's like, are the fuses hot? And I'm like putting my hands and my face to it. I'm like, no, like I just watched Dante's Peak too with my friends, which is like an old 90s movie where it's Pierce Brosnan, and they're predicting if there's a volcano in the town, and then there is, and blah, blah, and it has like, it's very Jurassic Park where like a thing is shaking or whatever, and like he goes to get some water and it's all brown. But I have that moment where like my face is like against the wall, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's ghosts or I'm gonna blow up. Like I don't know what it is, but there are just some weird stuff where like the walls shake and you're like, I don't like, do I ignore this or do I try to handle it? Like,
right. Yeah. I mean, I know it's not like unfathomable. It would be a mouse, but anyway, I just hope it's not like a ghost in my mirror. Cause when you get it used from like somebody's home, you're like,
yeah, you're like, did you give me
why
a
did you
possessed
sell it
mirror?
for so
Yeah,
cheap? Yeah.
Actually, I think the smarter thing to do is to make it expensive, and then people will be like, I need this mirror.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
I was willing to pick it up. It was 15 pounds. I was willing to pick it up for 15. It's huge. It's a huge mirror for 15 pounds, and mirror's expensive. But like Johnny ruined it for me because he was like, it looks like there's like a team of FBI people behind your mirror. Cause like, he was like a long mirror I could understand. Cause you can, you use it to check your
because
outfit.
it's a circle.
No, because this mirror it's not a circle. It's like really big square. Like it's
Okay.
horizontally long. And he was like, it doesn't make any sense that it would be that shape unless there was a team of people behind it.
I love it. We got off topic.
Oh, announcements. Anyway, my album's out. mariashahada.bandcamp.com is the best way to support me. You can also stream it. And thanks for listening to my album if you've listened to it. And I love kind words. So if you have any, please feel free to share.
Yeah. And then I'm in Michigan coming up, Grand Rapids, Muskegon. I don't even know what that is. Holland. And then I'm in Vegas this month. And I forgot to do fan mail. So I have to go look that up.
Okay. This one's from Paul. He says, great conversation. This is the first of the series I've listened to, and I will definitely check out more episodes. Please do, Paul. The imbalance of emotional labor in relationships. Yep, I totally get that. By the way, I need glasses because I'm having to move my phone further and further away from my face. I
Oh,
can't
I
read
can't wait for
anything
you to be
anymore.
one of those people that they get a text message and it's like 4 words on their phone. Like I can't tell you how many friends where I'm like, dude, just get glasses because everybody knows everything about you
Yeah.
from across the
Yeah.
room.
My brother's wife has really big words on her phone. Like the text is huge. Um, Yep, I totally get that. At no point are you supposed to bruise a man's ego. I hear you. Like that was in quotes. I hear you. And that is definitely a message that society sends us. But I think a lot of this is determined by how one person communicates things and how the other person interprets it. Men are not supposed to slam a woman's ego in some ways too, though that sure as hell gets ignored sometimes. If a man is truly comfortable with himself and comfortable in the relationship, I think he will be open to constructive criticism and or I messages from his partner. I know right before he rides his unicorn into a double sunset on Tatooine. But seriously, I think it can happen if you establish mutual respect using I messages, hugely important in my honest opinion, and genuinely caring about each other. I'm not saying this is easy for anyone, and I think it's important to know, ex- expect, and understand that we all fuck up sometimes. One of the most important things is how we handle our fuck ups. That could be another whole episode. Even get a non apology. I hate those. Ever get a non apology? I hate those. Um, Anyway, I'm a psychology guy, not a therapist, but I have a master's degree in psych and am in therapy myself, have been for years, and I think it's just good for you. And it was really interesting and enjoyable to listen to your conversation today. Thank you for helping me feel like not everything on the internet is mindless crap. LOL. I look forward to seeing more episodes. Have a great day.
Oh, that was so nice.
That is
I
nice.
mean, it is interesting. I don't think you should bruise. I don't think anybody wants their ego bruised. And it's as somebody that's couldn't hear any criticism, let alone constructive criticism, like anything that wasn't you're the best, I could not hear because it would reinforce what I already kind of felt about myself, which was I wasn't good enough. So it took a shit ton of therapy and a shit ton of work to be able to hear anything. And of course, in hearing that is where you improve and get better and you become the person you want to become. But I think what is difficult is you have to be open to it. And as somebody, like I would say, my last relationship, I could not have done it better. I could not have been more thoughtful in how I presented it. I couldn't have been more open in where it was my fault and where I fell short. I couldn't be more like, let's do this together. Like I could not have been more cushy or open or thoughtful about, hey, this is something that you're doing that's affecting me, but I see where it's coming from. I've also done it myself and struggle with it. And here is where I think we both can improve in this area. And it was like, it was like I was attacking him and telling him he was a piece of shit every day. And that's how he interpreted it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, at the end of the day, it was like, this is not maintainable, both in what you're doing and saying to me, and also in an inability to communicate with you. So, and I've been on the other end of it. I was that person in a previous relationship, and that's what put me into therapy. And I think there was a part of me that was like, maybe I could be the catalyst and we can stay together. And like, I think I remember telling you, I was just like, if this relationship is what makes him better and somebody else gets all my work, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad. They'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, he's so open and he communicates so well. I did that. But I had to just go, I cannot communicate with this person. And I am at the max level of my skills. And I had to just be like, I'm done. And I think that's where it gets difficult, I think, with emotional labor, which is like, dude, I have 10 years of therapy. I've read stuff about this. I'm not saying I'm the best or I don't have issues, but like I am trying and I've done everything I can. And you're not even meeting me an eighth of the way. And I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. And I think that's the struggle with women and I'm not saying, and believe me, I would say my first relationship I had when I was in my early 20s, he was absolutely more emotionally mature and taught me a lot. And he had to deal with fucking me being like that. So it's not just women, but like that's where the struggle is like, I have to communicate with you and you can't be hurt at any point. That's insane.
Yeah.
I guess where my empathy is I was the person that could not have a bruised ego. And I mean, like my first boyfriend was so gentle with me and so kind. And I was still like any criticism, even legit criticism and thoughtful criticism and constructive criticism could not handle it. So I'm glad I did the work. I'm glad I feel better, and I have grown and I continue to grow. But there is a max point where you're like, you kind of go, this isn't my child, and I'm just going to give up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, you're not mine, and I don't need to keep trying. So I'm going to, good luck to you. Good luck to you with your personality, because it is exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like hard to know when you get to that point, but it's like, you've tried everything. You really did. You really tried for years, everything.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I would say the same thing about my younger self. I wasn't a bad person. I was just a broken person. And my ex wasn't a bad person. But it's like, at some point you're like, I can't be the only person. I can't be the only person that's aware of this. And it's not fair, because I'm the person that knows you the best. And I'm the person that has the most to lose. So it's like all on me to fix this problem. This sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, that's not fair to me. I don't want to be the only. So it's like, you ever have it where like someone's like, well, you're the only person that complains about this. I was like, I'm the only person that knows. You're so wonderful to everybody else. I'm the only person that knows you suck. That's not
really
fair.
Weird how different people can be in relationships with the person that's closest to them.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen relationships where, like abusive relationships, where all of that guy's friends were like, how can you say that? I wasn't in the relationship. I had a friend in the relationship, but they were like, how can you say this about him? He's great. He's a good person. He's got a good heart. And like, you don't see the side that she sees.
Yeah.
Like, you're not there in the relationship. You see the friend side. Like, people change with different dynamics.
Absolutely. And we all do. I think it triggers so much, and it's so, it's so much wrapped up in your childhood and past trauma, and whether past relationship trauma or childhood trauma, that it's the intimate relationship is so triggering, that you do change, and you are different, and you do have different things that upset you, where, if you cancel on me last minute, it's just like, oh, that sucks. And, whatever. But if your partner cancels on you last minute, it's like, like, I'll just like, why are you like, you know what I mean? And you're like, so everybody else is like, yeah, she's so easygoing. And I'm just like, abandonment issues. Like, so I think that's where I mean, I could go on forever, but I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you for seeing what we're trying to talk about and seeing everybody's side in it. And we appreciate you.
Thanks, Paul.
Googles.
You
want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. Mine was, I got such a definitive answer, and it made me sad.
Okay.
Mine is, does carbonation make you have to pee more? So I started intermittent fasting again, and what I do is I drink seltzer. That's how I get through, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not eating, so I'll just drink a bunch of seltzer, and the bubbles will make me feel less alone, and like we're snacking.
Yeah.
And I am getting up like 4 times in the middle of the night to pee, and I'm like not like chugging water. I'm just having like a glass of seltzer, or like it's not, I'm not drinking so much water that it just didn't make sense. And I was like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. This is a lot of peeing. Carbonated drinks like club soda, seltzer, and sparkling water may irritate sensitive bladders. So if you have an overactive bladder, also known as urinary urge incontinence, limit how much you take in. It was like, and I looked at a bunch, they're like, that's what it is. If you already have a sensitive bladder. And then I was trying to figure out, like, what about these bubbles are making, like, what? Like, what?
It's just air. What the fuck?
I'm so mad.
Oh,
like, just like, I'm getting
you
ready
ask
to cut.
so little of the world.
I know, it's bubbles. Come on, man. Like, I'm getting ready. I'm cutting out gluten again. And my skin is just so fucking, and I even feel like puffy. But I'm getting ready to cut out gluten again. I think I'm going to do it starting Thursday. And then sugar. And I'm just trying to, like, my body just doesn't feel great. But in general, just the intermittent fasting was like an easy way to like start into it. 'Cause it's just, you just don't eat, after you're done dinner or whatever. And fucking, I can like, I don't want to just drink water. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Oh.
So I genuinely, like, last night was like, fucking, I just like,
Have you ever thought about zhuzhing up water?
what am I going to zhuzh it up? Because the other thing we Googled was like flavored water. And the other thing is like, I'm really lazy. I don't want to brush my teeth again.
No, like putting like you get like a container and you can put mint and cucumber, or you can put like strawberries and oranges, or you can put fruit in your water.
No, but then my body's just like, are we eating? And it's like, no, buddy, we're not eating.
All right. Well,
I wanted
sorry.
bubbles. I'm genuinely like, I was just like,
all this
but I also don't.
all this bitch ever wanted was bubbles, bubble tea, bubble water. Just give me some bubbles.
Yeah, just let me have my bubbles. But it's like, what? I hate my bladder.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, my Google had to do with sparkling water too.
Oh, so on the same page.
Mine was, can you water plants with sparkling water?
You dumbass. Was that like a lazy, like, you seem sad? This is the closest. I didn't know you had such
exactly.
bougie
It was
plants.
laziness because I had a bottle of sparkling water. I was like, shit, I need to water the plants. And I was like,
especially if it's like no longer bubbly, like it's flat or whatever, and you're like, this is like a waste.
Why not? And you can. Hang on, where is it? So it's like it's more expensive obviously than water, but you can do it. And the minerals and extra carbon dioxide give plants a boost during the growing season. Weekly treatments with carbonated water offer maximum benefits. So I guess it's like the minerals in carbonated water that really boost the plant. But also that makes sense because remember, was it Jacob who sent us that mineral water that
Oh yeah, the mineral stuff for the plants.
Yeah, so he started grinding up minerals, and like because he was making
The gems
and he was making gems out of them, and he had all this like mineral dust, and he put it in water and like fed his plants that, and like they grew like really really well. And so like he was like, oh, there's something to this. So yeah, sparkling water is kind of the same deal. The minerals in it help it grow better. So I wouldn't.
Yeah. Neither of us are in that place where you're like, I only feed them sparkling water. Yeah.
The bottle of Pellegrino for the plants is in the fridge. I'm talking to somebody, I don't know who.
to our they only this maid in this scenario only takes care of the plants. We have somebody else that takes care of the animals, and somebody else that takes care of the cleaning, and somebody else that just moves the car just so that the engine doesn't die.
So you can't drink sparkling water, but your plants can.
This is one of the most upsetting Googles we have ever. I'm just so mad. So fucking mad. There's nothing in it. Fucking
maybe you should change the like bias of your questions. Maybe it should be like, what are the benefits of drinking sparkling water? And then you hear all the good things about it instead of the bad.
No. Cool. I don't want to know more good things about sparkling water because I can't have it now. I mean, I can have it. I just can't have a lot of it. And I guess I can't have it before bed, which was I don't want to just drink water.
I know.
And it was like, it's funny because everybody else needs it to have all these flavors. And I just liked sparkling water. I just liked seltzer. I don't need all the flavors.
Do you have a bubble preference?
I like them like punch you in the face. Like I like a lot of bubbles. Like Polar is I don't think you have it in the US, but Polar is a brand of seltzer, and it's like aggressive bubbles, as opposed to like Pellegrino is like medium bubbles, and it's like I'll take a Pellegrino, but I like to be like I want my throat assaulted by bubbles.
But see, that's what I think I prefer Pellegrino because they have like the tiny little bubbles. So it's a bunch of tiny bubbles, and I feel like that like is this like it's a smoother roughness, which makes zero sense. But like if you get Perrier, the bubbles are bigger. Don't like them as much.
Yeah, it's a grade of sandpaper.
Yes,
like yours is like a nail file, and mine I'm trying to like make a house smooth.
You like bubble wrap.
Yeah, I just fucking so mad. Um, okay. Let's get personal.
Let's do it.
Okay. What's the best single day on the calendar?
Uh, I don't know.
I have a tie. Mine's either New Year's Day or I think, is it Memorial Day? That's like in like September. There's one of them that's like the last
Like
nice.
Labor Day, Memorial Day's in May, and Labor
Oh,
Day's in September.
maybe it's Labor Day. I don't know. There's two reasons. Okay, New Year's Day is I honestly, because I don't drink and it feels like there's no requirements of you, like nobody's working, you don't have to do anything. It's like this everybody's hungover slash everybody believes nobody's asking you to work. It's like everybody's off and it feels like this lazy day. And people aren't really doing stuff. Like most things are closed because like what was interesting about Sweden is I'm pretty sure it's Sweden, like every Sunday, everything's closed. Grocery stores are closed. Like everybody has to cook. Everybody has to stay home because most restaurants, grocery stores, everything is closed. It's like everybody really does have off on a Sunday. And I feel like we don't really have that. Like there's
Mm-mm.
so much that most things are open. Like we have people that work on Christmas and Thanksgiving and like, so I don't know, New Year's Day, it's like the most stuff is closed and you're just not required to do anything. It's like everybody can have a lazy day. Even I don't feel like I got to get stuff done or I just feel like the ultimate level of relaxed. Nothing. Nobody's like, hey, you want to go to a party tonight? Like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There is a lot of pressure on New Year's Eve. I like New Year's Day, but I hate days that everybody has off. I really can't stand because we don't have typical 9 to 5s. So when everyone has off, it's just like everyone's in my way.
yes, but this is a day that you really don't leave the house and it's okay and nobody judges you
That's
because
true.
nothing's open. Like maybe like I sometimes would go to the gym and that was always cool because nobody's there. Like they're
Yeah.
like, we'll start January 2nd. I don't know. I think more and more I know I have trouble relaxing. So it's like just one of those days where it's like this get out of jail free card where like you're not required to do anything. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody wants you to do anything. Like you can just be a lazy sack of shit and everybody's like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's best day of the year. And it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, it really does. Um, and then I like Labor Day, I guess, just because I do like a good barbecue and it feels like this last hurrah of the sun. And not that I go to a lot of these things, but I do like a good, like, let's hang out outside and let's appreciate the weather kind of day.
I think, okay, for me, I think my birthday, and I'm not just being like, oh, because I'm amazing, but it's like my personal holiday. So it's like not everybody has off. Like, so not necessarily everybody has off. So like, and it's my day. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I still feel
And
pressure
it's
on my
still,
birthday.
it's like at the last, you still feel pressure on your birthday?
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be celebrating and I can't celebrate the way I want to.
Yeah, but it also gives me an excuse to get everyone together and like have dinner together. Cause I don't have parties anymore, but I do have dinners and I love dinners. God, I
Yeah.
love a good dinner with friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Continue.
yeah, and it's kind of the last bit of spring because it's June 13th, yours is June 9th. And then like that's
When is my birthday?
11th.
Yeah. Who's this
Uh,
bitch on the 9th? I want
I
to
don't
find
know. I
her.
always do that every year. I think it's the 9th and then it's not. And like your mom doesn't know when your birthday is either,
She
does
has
she?
no idea. My mom has no idea when my birthday is.
um but like it's like coming in up to summer, but it's not quite summer yet. And so the weather's usually really nice. But other than that, and it's hard to pinpoint this day, but I love the days, well, especially when I lived in climates that have weather like LA for 7 years, this day didn't exist because it's always the same. But in New York and London, that period of time coming out of winter, those first few days of like warm weather, and then everybody's al fresco dining, everybody's out, there's like a buzz in the air. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I love that. I love a good, yeah, warm day after like months of shit.
It's funny. We had 3 days. a couple of weeks ago, we had 3 days where it was 70 during the day. And it was like that. Everybody's like, I'm wearing a crop top. Everybody's like,
it was like 63 here, and like people were in shorts and just like wearing nothing. I'm like, I'm freezing. I was still in my winter coat.
Oh
it's
yeah.
cold.
Yeah. No, I need it to be, it has to be a consistent 70.
Yeah. Yeah. Not 70 in the sun and like 40 in the it's just shade.
Yeah. What is that shit? Where you're just like, it's like, oh, whatever. And then it went back down to where it was like 45 at night and like maybe 55 during the day. So it's like not as bad, but you're like, no, you gave me a taste of greatness.
Yeah.
Like I can't go back.
Yeah. I put my winter coat away. I burned it. Like you can't now then be cold. Yeah. We had like a week around Easter where it was nice out, and then it went back to being freezing, and I'm so sick of being cold.
So tired of it. I have confliction with my birthday, and I think it's because you get a lot of phone calls. So I feel the pressure to like talk to the people that made me. I love them, but I feel the pressure to talk to the people that made me. And it's all my siblings. I have a million of them. And then it's my friends, which I love, but it's just like, I find myself by like 2 p.m. being like, I don't want to talk on the phone anymore. And I feel like my day is gone. And I know I can like avoid it. And there are days like I've been like, oh, I can't, I'll talk to you. Like, like I can set boundaries if I need to, but like sometimes you are like, I do want to talk, but then it turns into like an hour conversation. And you're like, that's my day. I spent my whole day.
It's so funny because I don't have like, when I talk to my family is for like 5 minutes and then that's it. But Johnny is like you, like he'll spend all day on the phone with his family and miss his birthday because like of all the well-wishing.
Yeah. And it's nice. I'm not, but it's just like, I definitely don't want to spend my whole day on the phone. But then I also don't want the pressure to do anything. But then also like, if I don't have a good time, like not a good time, but if I don't do, like I more and more just want it to be, we've talked about this on the podcast, like a perfect day where it's just like, I get up, I have a beverage that I like. You know what I mean? I see a friend I want to see. I go to the gym. I feel good about myself. Like, it's just like this kind of like, it's my day, but it just kind of works out.
Yeah. Everything's for you. It's everything. It's just what you want to do with zero pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, we forgot to tell people what we're doing.
Yeah. I noticed. I was like, maybe we'll just leave it for the end.
Yeah. We're not doing topics anymore. We ran out of topics.
We didn't like, we could keep thinking of topics. I just think like it just was becoming more of like a book report than, because when we were doing topics, it was about stuff we were experiencing. And so we'd give our personal stories and stuff. And then it was just like, what are bananas? Like, how are they grown? Let's find out.
Yeah. And honestly, I love the Let's Get Personals and the Googles. And I learn, I do little book reports with the Googles where I'm just like, let me find out more about this. But yeah, I think we're going to experiment with not having topics for a while. Not to say that you can't suggest stuff to us or, we're not going to like do deep dives on anything, but I think for now we're in a new experimental place in our podcast. 2 years. Is it 2 years in? Yeah, it's 2 years in.
Yeah.
Because 2 years in, we are we're growing and evolving, and you are witnessing that.
Yeah. And then maybe we'll replace it with something, maybe, we'll figure it out. But for now, we're just gonna do all the fun, like just chatting stuff and skip the book report.
Yeah, but you can still write to us. You can write to us about what you think your best personal day is, the type of bubbles you like in your carbonation. Let's get us a seltzer sponsorship where I'm just like but you can write to us at 2nondoctors@gmail.com. That's 2non-doctors@gmail.com. And we appreciate you going on this journey with us.
Yeah, thanks everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.